All America, all the time. Sit down, buckle up, and get ready for The Dan Bongino Show.
Hey, I got a pretty cool announcement for you today, and I mean for you. It's not for me, it's for you. Why? Because you're the show. Yeah, I'm the show, but I'm only the show talking to I can only listen to myself one time. That's it. It'd be an audience of one. The show is about you. So I wanted to do something for you. I just wanted you guys and ladies to feel good and be part of the show, and I wanted to do something. So I'll announce that in just a second. You know, it's said often in the biz, it's a stack news day, loaded news, whatever modifiers, adjectives, adverbs you use. Supreme Court announcements, the communist takeover of America, the two Americas that are developing, and of course the title of today's show, the unfortunate fact that if we don't stop this soon, this war on Western civilization, ladies and gentlemen, I say this with no exaggeration for effect at all. You're next. You're next. And I'm proud to be in this fight with you, the Bongino Army folks. Thank you for all the feedback in yesterday's show. Again, I know the language is not for everybody. That's cool. I'm actually happy that a lot of you keep the language stuff in check with me because you remind me sometimes. But yesterday, I'm sorry, man. The Queens came out of me, and yesterday's show was just a brawl, a verbal brawl, but a brawl. So I got a lot of feedback on yesterday's show. All right, big show, a lot to talk about, a lot to get to, including a big announcement coming up in a second just for you. Folks, many Americans try weight loss shots but quit due to their side effects. I chose Lean from Brickhouse Nutrition. Bottle right there. I love it. No needles, no prescriptions. I lost 30 pounds on it. Go to brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. Use code Dan for 20% off. Results vary. Not FDA approved. Check it out. Worked for me. Needed to lose some lbs there, and it worked. Also brought to you, the show brought to you today by Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile is, my opinion, the best cell phone service out there. They love the country. They're proud of it. They didn't run from it. When everybody was getting canceled, who was out there defending the Christian conservative movement in America? Patriot Mobile. They've been with us from the beginning. They are different. They're not kidding. They offer premium priority nationwide service on any of the three major networks, helping you get the best possible coverage wherever life takes you. Their service is amazing. They've saved me a couple times in South Florida at volleyball games when I couldn't get a signal, switched over to Patriot Mobile. Boom, we were good. With Patriot Mobile, you can even have two separate networks on a single device, eliminating the need to carry multiple phones. You don't want to do that. You'll have peace of mind you can't get with other carriers. You need internet on the go? They've got you. Patriot Mobile Wi-Fi hotspots connect to multiple networks to keep you connected while traveling or working remotely. Can't beat it. They also offer international roaming and enterprise solutions for businesses that need dependable connectivity and US-based support. So keep your number. Keep your phone. Upgrade if you want. Switch from your home or office. It takes just a few minutes. It's super quick. And when you call Patriot Mobile, you'll talk to real people right here in America. Superior coverage, superior products, superior customer support. That's Patriot Mobile. Go to patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code Dan for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT today. All right, fellas, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you. I talked to Paula, Jasmine, and the crew a little while ago, and I said, Paula, what can we do for the audience? What can we do for them? Well, they don't have to do it. All we've got to do is do something for them. She's like, you want to do a giveaway? I said, hell to the, yeah, I want to give it away. And I said, how do we do it in conjunction with America, the greatest country in the history of sentient beings? America, all the time. We love this country. We love this place. We want to celebrate it. I said, how about we give away some money? Everybody likes money. It's not free money. It's coming out of my pocket. However, it's free for you. You know, they say there's no free lunch. In this case, it's free for you. So I thought, what about if we gave away $1,776 to people in the chat? She said, I love it. So Paula has been working on this really hard. Thank you, Miss Paula. Starting July 6th, we're running the Bongino 1776 Live Club. Every week, we're giving away a $1,776 cash prize to somebody watching the show live. Why? Just because we want to. Why 1776? You already know. You love America, too. I love the audience. I really just want to give some stuff away because I feel like you all should take part in the show. It's free. All you got to do is comment in the chat. And if you win the comment of the day, you're in the weekly drawing, and one of you will win a cash prize every week. No strings attached, $1,776. Get in there. For one of you, it'll be so much winning. God bless. We'll see you live. If you want to see the official rules, go to bongino.com/1776, bongino.com/1776. So someone each week is going to get $1,776. All you got to do is be part of the live chat. You got to be in the live chat. On demand, you got to be in the live chat. So that's just for you, a gift to you guys and ladies out there, because I really do love you. You made my life. You've been like a blessing to me 1,000 times over. So there you go. We doing that. That was just an idea Paul and I had. Okay. Oh yeah. What? No, I said starting July 6th. Yeah, starting July 6th. Okay, good. Oh, okay. Yeah, Guy, thank you. Starting July 6th. So the Bongino 1776 Live Club. Check it out. Folks, you are next. You're next. Now, listen, I love this country. I'm worried about what happened in New York. You should be too. I was chatting with a friend yesterday. A friend asked me, are you scared? I said, concerned, anxious, scared. I don't know. Maybe not scared in the sense that I'm, walk around in fear. But ladies and gentlemen, what happened in New York with the communist revolution and takeover of one of the world's great cities is deeply concerning. You are next. There's no pushing it off. The AOCs will go away. The Mamdamis will go away. They're not going away. They're getting more powerful. They're getting more powerful. They're taking seats in state legislatures. They're taking seats in state senates. They're taking county commissioner seats. The Democrat Socialists of America are organizing. They're organizing very well. Do not diminish the power of your enemy. And I promise you, you're next. You think you're safe in a red state? You are not. They said that in Colorado 2 decades ago before the Blue Project takeover there. You are next. Colorado's got some elections coming up too. Ladies and gentlemen, if this continues, there is going to be a split. John Edwards, who ran for president, remember the Prell guy with the fancy hair, $500 haircuts? Some of you may not remember that. He ran as the vice president for Kerry. John Edwards, he was a liberal Democrat, once talked about 2 Americas. Little did he know, I agree with him, just not in the way he thought. There is going to be, if this continues, a massive schism. Communists will take over and destroy the civil liberties of people, stealing their money, stealing their freedom. You think they won't put you in jail for speaking out? Look at what's happening in the UK. Remember what happened with COVID? People will escape en masse to red states where they'll move next and try to take over. There will be a dangerous schism between these 2 Americas. It will not be one unified country anymore. If we don't stop this now, folks, you're next. Panic is even broken out with some Democrats who know they've got a problem because they sat back as facilitators. Remember, there are the activists, the Mamdanis, the Daria Lisa Chevaliers, the AOCs, the people who are actively trying to steal away your right to assemble, petition, to speak, practice your religion. You are under attack by them. And then there's the Democrat facilitators. The facilitators are the ones that stayed quiet when they could have spoken out. I appreciate John Fetterman, Democrat senator. He's one of the few people with Gottheimer on the House side speaking out right now. I don't vote Democrat. However, I do appreciate people who stand up for something. Most Democrats are sitting on their fat rump caboose asses doing absolutely nothing while communist, socialist, freaking Nazis take over their party with the tattoos to prove it. And then they get mad when pull up Seth Moulton first. Dear Seth Moulton, Democrat, this guy from Massachusetts, he claims to be like some big standing on principle bullshit guy. He's asked a simple question about Nazi tattoo guy Plattner in Maine. And instead of saying, hey, man, I don't really support that stuff, which you've been doing against people claiming to be Republicans the whole time because you've got balls and you do something about it. We cleaned up a mess for people pretending to be part of us. The Democrats don't have the balls to do it. Instead, he attacks the camera guy. Check this out.
Do you endorse Graham Plattner in Maine? Who are you? Do you endorse Graham Plattner in Maine?
Who are you? Who are you asking this question?
You hang on to that? You gotta do a better job at hanging on to your phone.
Simple question, bro. Do you support the Nazi tattoo guy or not? Just give a typical political answer if you don't have the balls to stand on principle. We're going to let the voters of Maine decide. I'm not telling you that's the right answer. I'm just telling you, you attacked the camera guy for asking if you support a guy with a freaking Nazi tattoo who allegedly pleasures himself in a porta potty. Whoa. I'm not talking about head massages either. Look it up. Then he was at a rally the other day. This Plattner guy, was he talking about like an STD or something? Like, bro, save it. TMI. Folks, you're next. The facilitators are now starting to panic. They sat around on their asses. We did not do that on this show. It is not the most popular thing to do on a show with this kind of audience, to go out and have to say, hey, there's people pretending to be part of our tent here. Folks, this is not our movement. It's not a popular thing to do, folks. You're going to piss off some people. Oh, I used to watch your show, but whatever. I like this guy instead. That's fine. It's the right thing to do. Stand on principle. You stand for nothing. And you'll have to tell your kids one day you stood by while our party was hijacked by a bunch of freaking Jew-hating lunatics. No way. No way, amigos. Not on my watch. The Dems did nothing. Here's Joe Scarborough and Donnie Deutsch yesterday on MSNOW, formerly MSNBC. Here they are yesterday starting to panic. Hey, man, this isn't the face of our party. Maybe you should have said that a couple years back when the Bernie Sanders AOC revolution started, but you didn't have the nuts to say it. You didn't have the nuts to say it. These people aren't the face of our party. Really? You should tell Mamdani that. He seems to think the opposite. Play MSNOW first.
Today, they will act like, and I hope you don't act like, New York City is the center of the world, because it's a big country out there.
You know what? There's what's called badge branding. You know, you sell Chevrolets and you use Corvette to kind of sell the whole thing. And my concern, this is from a branding point of view, not a reality point of view, is that you now have the ability, I'm not talking about Fox News, I'm talking about if the Republicans are running against Democrats, no matter who the Democrat is, they say the Democratic Party stands for this. The Democratic Party stands for what these principles stand for.
This? How many points did Mikey Sherrill win by when we heard she was going to lose?
But now you have, this is
hold on a second. How many points did Abigail Spanberger win in Virginia, despite being told, oh, the Democrats are all socialists, they're all left-wing?
But this is not,
it's the same exact thing, Donnie.
There's new news now. You have a real wave happening. Joe, I think the Democratic Party, and you've got now two Democratic socialists, is taking on an overall persona. This is where the energy is in the party. You and I can agree to disagree on this. I believe the Democratic Party overall is going too hard left. I believe there is anti-Semitism in there. We'll save that for another day. But I believe this is a branding issue for the Democrats that they are going to have to answer for. So we'll agree to disagree on this one.
It's obviously a challenge.
I love Donnie Deutsch there. Yeah, talking about burying the lead. Yeah, I think there's some anti-Semitism in there, but let's save that for another day. When they start rounding up the Jews? You don't think you're next? Folks, I said this yesterday, and there were headlines all over the place. We have the show on Google Alerts so we can micro-target and see, we do marketing the show. It's a business, and we like to go out there and reach people and try to reach new audience members. So we see most of the headlines. I said it yesterday. This is not about the Jews only. It's about Western civilization. You're next. You're next. Donnie Deutsch, talk about burying the lead. There's an anti-Semitism problem, but we'll save that for what's another day when you start building railroads to the concentration camps? Folks, I can't encourage you in strong enough terms. Many of you are familiar with this. First They Came by Pastor Martin Niemöller. If you haven't read this, tattoo this on your brain. First they came for the communists. I didn't speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I didn't speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. Talking about the Nazis. Tell me what's different about the language being used now. We should remember the Maureen Galindo lady in Texas talking about Zionists going to camps and things? What's the difference in the language? By the way, you think the Nazis just killed Jews? They targeted gypsies, minorities, and others. You think they're just going to stop there? Folks, they're coming for you next. So there's Donnie Deutsch and Joe Scarborough on MSNOW. I know it's MSN. I prefer MSNOW. You don't have to tell. I appreciate it. But you think they're going to stop there? You're listening to, that's not the face of our party. Really? Here's Mamdani yesterday asked this exact question. hey, man, are you guys like the face of our party? Mamdani seems to think the opposite. So maybe it's time, Donnie, to address the anti-Semitism bug in the room before you and your network are next. They're coming after everyone, Dan Goldman included. What? Yeah. Here's Mamdani. They are the face of the party. Just listen to them.
The DSA members, they had to apologize for past social media commentary, the way they phrase things, talking about policies that didn't have anything to do with making it in the city. And I wanted to get your opinion on it. Are you going to take them to Mamdani's School of Politics and to avoid having their worst moments be the face of the Democratic Party in a contested midterm election around the country?
I think we can see from each of these candidates that they have exactly what it takes to succeed. And we've heard from Republicans time and again that they're going to try and make these candidates the face of the Democratic Party. To them, I say that we are ready for that.
What else do you need to hear? What else do you need to hear? Donnie, we may not agree on a lot. Joe, we may not. I ran into Joe Scarborough at an airport one day. Nice, wave a little bit, whatever. We don't have to be political allies, but can we both stand jointly and say it's probably not a good idea to target people for their religion, faith, skin color, with a minority status, whatever it is, and like wipe them out and intern in concentration camps? Can we just agree on that? Is that a hard step for you? Is that tough? They are the face of the party. They're telling you they're the face. They just won elections all over the country. You've got a socialist in Seattle. You've got socialists in New York. You've got a socialist in Chicago. You've got socialists running in Colorado, Wisconsin, everywhere. Are you guys missing this? Don't tell me there's not a cleanup operation going on the right. We have some principles. Don't bullshit me. This show has been at the leading edge of that. And no, it's not popular. And that's fine. I never did the show to be popular. We did the show to be on the right side of what is unquestionably the positive moral arc of history, because we get there and we always get there. Folks, this country is so unbelievably blessed. I can't say this enough on our 250th. Every day a new fact, a new factoid just like creeps into the melon in my brain here. And I just this morning I was thinking about, you don't think this country was touched by the hand of God? I told you we should have never, ever, there's no way we should be here. It doesn't even make sense. And I think about the fact that two of our great founding fathers, Adams and Jefferson, die on the same day, July 4th, 50 years after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Now, Adams, we probably could have done without the Alien and Sedition Act, but you get the point. We got to look at people in total. We're not like the statue ripper downers. This country's amazing. We'll survive this, but we're not going to survive this without dressing in the armor of God and going out and taking on the fight at great risk to yourself. It's not going to happen, folks, because this stuff does not happen overnight. Creeping death and destruction doesn't happen overnight. It happens slowly. I saw this going around on social media yesterday. Quote from Renee Firestone, a Hungarian Jew and Holocaust survivor, from the documentary The Last Days. Listen to this. People wonder how it is that we didn't do something. We didn't run away. We didn't hide. Well, things didn't happen at once. Things happened very slowly. So each time a new law came out, or a restriction, we said, well, just another thing. It'll blow over. It didn't blow over. It never blew over. It's never going to blow over. The only thing that's going to stop this is you. As the great Ginny Thomas once told me, ladies and gentlemen, missile lock on my eyeballs here, okay? You are the leaders we've been waiting for. You. Don't wait for someone else. You have power. You have social media accounts. You can post. You can call friends. You can email friends. You can take them to vote. You can organize. You can volunteer for a campaign. You can do it too. Everything I just said, I did myself. I ran for office 3 times. Didn't work out. I was proud to do it. I wasn't going to sit on the sidelines in a porta potty like Graham Plattner, pleasuring myself, okay? I was actually going to go out there and do it. The fact that it didn't work out to me is irrelevant. I find myself more powerful here on the microphone, organizing people as well. I've donated to campaigns. I've knocked on doors for campaigns. I've run myself. I've been there. I don't speak with forked tongue. Everything I'm asking you to do, I've done myself. I walked away from this to go take on government service for a year and clean up what I had been so concerned about. I walked the streets of New York City as a police officer. I know what it's like. I spent a decade in law enforcement. I've been out there. I've had real jobs in a real life. I've seen real consequences, real death, real destruction, real consequences for shitty policies. Folks, they're going to come for you next. They came for Dan Goldman. Dan Goldman. He's a freaking liberal Democrat lunatic. You want to talk about one of the lead, if not the lead voice, maybe outside of Adam Schiff. There was no one more instrumental in the weaponization of government and the attempted takedown of Donald Trump. They targeted him, liberal New York Democrat Dan Goldman. I kid you not, who lost his race. Mechlek in the chat, the frog is in the pot. You're damn right. Slowly. He's not moving. He's like, well, it's getting a little warm in here. Yeah, it's hot. They targeted Dan Goldman because he's a Jew. He's a liberal, lunatic, weaponized Democrat, crazy person. Hat tip the great Maze Moore on X at MAZEMOORE. Great follow for videos. Maze Moore put up this little clip of Dan Goldman then and now. Folks, I want you, if they can target this guy is a nut because he's not nutty enough. You think you're safe because you did an Instagram reel or a TikTok saying you profess your hatred for the Jews too? You think you're safe? You don't think they'll turn on you in a second when you're not an obstacle to them? Good luck. I don't need luck. You need luck. I know what's coming. Here's Dan Goldman. Check this out.
Joe Biden did nothing, not even approximating improper, much less wrong or illegal. Joe Biden had nothing to do with Hunter Biden's business dealings, derived no benefit from it, received no money, and did not know about anything that Hunter Biden was doing, nor did he ever discuss it with Hunter Biden or the business associates. The fact that he spoke to business associates of Hunter Biden to say hello, to have small talk, casual conversation, is not evidence that Joe Biden or Hunter Biden did anything wrong. The brand that he was talking about is Hunter's own experience as a lobbyist and a lawyer in Washington, D.C. Investigation, Anderson, needs to end, and it needs to end now.
It is clear that the Department of Justice is covering up for Donald Trump. I am almost certain right now that there is a lot more material that would implicate Donald Trump in some aspect of Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking conspiracy. And I don't mean necessarily that Donald Trump is guilty of being a co-conspirator, but he was involved in some way, and perhaps in more ways than we even know about.
Folks, this guy is a sociopath. He defends Hunter Biden, the depraved, I don't even need to get into that, the blowhole painting life loser, Hunter Biden, and then simultaneously claims Donald Trump's involved with some Epstein cabal. He says it with no shame at all, and he wasn't radical enough for them. Oh, no, they won't come for me. I did a Twitter video, and I told everyone how much I hate the Jews too. Good luck. Good luck with that, bro. Folks, they don't even care about the optics anymore. What's the line? What's politics, kids? Snapshots and sound bites. The Democrats don't even care anymore about the snapshots or the sound bites. You want to see some just terrifying video? Here's the watch party up in New York for the Socialists. Here's a bunch of white, young and middle-aged Karens, socialist, communist crazies, screaming at a news screen, Hakeem Jeffries, liberals, so I got to explain who these people are. Hakeem Jeffries is black, irrelevant to conservatives, but apparently liberals care about all of this race stuff, right? Hakeem Jeffries is the black minority leader in the U.S. House of Representatives. He's probably one of the top 5 most powerful politicians in the country. He's black. Why do I bring that up? You said it twice. Because I thought the Karens out there, the liberal Karens out there with their coexist and tolerance stickers would be a little more sensitive to the fact that they're running candidates who are Nazis who like to exterminate minorities while screaming at a rally at a black guy on TV, "You're next." Don't take my word for it. Listen to this. Snapshots and sound bites. Snapshots and sound bites, folks. You're next. You think they'd care about like the optics? Hakeem Jeffries is almost to the left of Dan Goldman. You think you're safe? You think you're safe again because you did a video one time professing your allegiance to the Islamo fanatics out there? I love the Islamo fanatics. Cut my head off last. Your effing head is coming off when everyone else does, folks. You better get one of those like neck chastity belts just to make sure they don't saw your neck off. Remember what that Renee Firestone quote said? We thought it would all go away and blow over. It's not going to blow over. It's not going to blow over. And I'm not going to let them rewrite history either. Oh, this is just about socialism like Norway and building roads. Yeah, building roads to concentration camps. Building roads is not socialism. You don't even know what socialism is. Socialism is the government control of the means of production. Read a freaking book. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to show you on the other side who, again, these people are. Folks, you're next. 10, 10, and 10. 10 emails, 10 phone calls, 10 social media posts before the election. Elections matter. It's the best piece in a constitutional republic of public control you can exert over lunatics and cabals trying to take over our government to kill, maim, and destroy. You don't want to know what comes after that. Ah, boy, today's a big show. It is our 250th, though. So Donald Trump gave a great speech last night, President Trump, at the rally on a national mall to a really good crowd. Folks, it's barbecue season. I got to get one of these to Jim. This is a new sponsor. This is cool. This came in the other day in the mail. I'm like, this is pretty fantastic. Go to chefiq.com and check it out. It's a smart thermometer. You're out there barbecuing, you need one of these bad boys. I'm already hooked. Flat out works. No guesswork, no ruined food, just perfect results every time. Producer Jim, we got to get you one. And to celebrate America's 250th, Chef IQ just released 4 limited edition Stars and Stripes designs. And during their 4th of July sale, you'll save 40% with my code DAN40. Chef IQ Sense is a smart thermometer that connects to your phone. It tells you exactly when to flip, pull, rest, and serve. No more guesswork. You don't want to screw up your barbecue out there. Perfect results with whatever you're cooking. Get one to producer Jim. Grill it, smoke it, roast it. Jim's a smoker guy. Doesn't matter. No more babysitting the grill. I can actually enjoy the party and watch the fireworks. We checked it out this weekend on some steaks. Amazing. The same pro-level Chef IQ performance is now in the Stars and Stripes collection, but only for a limited time. When they're gone, they're gone. Whether you're a grill master or you just like making great food, we all love that. You got to check these out. Go to chefiq.com. Take the guesswork out of your barbecue. Use promo code DAN40 for 40% off. Check them out today. Welcome to Chef IQ. We appreciate you being on the show. chefiq.com. Promo code DAN40 for 40% off. Check it out. Today's show also brought to you by Kalshi. Folks, you know I'm not a big gambler, but I've been having a lot of fun looking at marketplace predictions for everything from politics to sports, and Kalshi, Kalshi, is where I get the best insights on predictions. From sports to politics to finance, any variety of markets people are monitoring, Kalshi.com is a bookmark you need. I featured them in my last election special. They were spot on. Our president was elected, as predicted. Kalshi.com is one of the only places you can trade on real-world events in all 50 states. So click on the link in the description and get a free $10 credit when you trade $100. It's not just politics or economics. They got markets on everything from sports to pop culture to climate predictions. It's my go-to. Kalshi has a pulse on what the world thinks will happen. Click the link in the description. Get a free $10 credit when you trade $100. Go to Kalshi.com/r/Bongino. Kalshi.com/r/Bongino. Kalshi. Click the link in the description. Free $10 credit when you trade $100. You must be 21. The purchaser must be present in the state where the trade is placed. See important disclosures at Kalshi.com. Kalshi is subject to U.S. regulatory oversight by the CFTC. Thank you, Kalshi. Folks, a lady won a state Senate seat on Truman. So Supreme Court ruling, don't mean to break up the show, but solid Supreme Court ruling about firearms restrictions in Hawaii on private locations working in the Second Amendment's favor. So that's good. Supreme Court rules in favor of the Trump administration on ending deportation protections for Syrians and Haitians. That's great. That's 2 for 2 this morning. Still waiting on birthright citizenship. This is happening live as the show goes on. It's a live show right here. Again, join the live chat, take part in the contest. We're still waiting on the big one, birthright citizenship. I'm going to be candid with you. I am not that optimistic about it. We'll see. I don't want to get out ahead of it, but sometimes they'll tee up the really big one for last after ruling in favor of the Trump administration, and boom, and then you get the rug pull at the end. So we'll see if that breaks during the show. But good news, 2 for 2 on the Second Amendment and ending deportation protections for Syrian and Haitians. Turns out if you don't belong here, President Trump was correct. You got to go. All right, getting back to the show. Why is that important? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we've got people in the United States committed to the destruction of Western civilization and using violence to do it. How do we know that? Because they say it in their own freaking documents. Dear liberal lunatics facilitating this nonsense and the MSNOW crowd, please read sometime. Do homework. Remember when we were kids? Reading is fundamental. Give it a shot sometime. You're next. Just like Dan Goldman. Here's a rally soon-to-be New York State Senator Aber Quas was at. You'll see her in the beginning, where they're just like talking about like the destruction of Western civilization, our world. No big deal. She's only going to be legislating for one of the largest states in the union right now, New York. Don't worry, folks. Look away. Nothing to see here. Check this out.
Stand up! Stand up! Resistance is justified when people are occupied. Thank you to all of those who are resisting occupation from the streets of New York to the streets of Palestine. Up next, I have my sister in the struggle, Nerdine Kiswani. There is only one solution! Brother Muhammad Nabunsi.
The U.S. government is not our friend. It will never be our friend.
Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that border walls are unacceptable anywhere in this world. Not in Palestine and not in the United States of America either.
Living for 18 years in Palestine, I was fighting in the first uprising. I was throwing rocks, Molotov cocktails, the like. And the days in which they call you terrorists, the silence you should be over. Proud Muslims, fighting for justice, and in all the ways possible. And yes, jihadis in all the ways possible.
Occupation, shut it down. The border walls, shut them down. The siege of Gaza, shut it down. The whole damn system, shut it down.
I thought you wanted to be part of the system. You just ran and won effectively a state Senate seat. Next, she'll claim systemic discrimination while becoming part of the system she claims is discriminating. I love how they're running on all of these people, by the way, who are using an economic Trojan horse to go in there and take over the country with terrorist freaking ideology, are running against the government they're claiming to run under the banner of now. I saw this history. Folks, to all the hosts out there watching my show, I'm not being a dick, okay? You guys and ladies do a great job in your own show. Frequently, you'll say stuff, and I'll be like, that's so cool. I'm going to take that, put it on my show tomorrow. Can I offer a suggestion? When you have a guest on who is running in a blue state or a blue city, like this freaking lunatic and her lunatic cronies, who want to talk about throwing Molotov cocktails and rocks and like terrorist activities, how they're going to break the system down, you should ask a simple question. When they come out, like whether it's Abdul El-Sayed in Michigan, run by Gretchen Whitmer, others, and they complain about, housing costs in the state and the economy in the state, when all they really care about is freeing Palestine, it doesn't exist, right? When that's all they really care about and destroying Western civilization, is a simple question. Who's in charge of your state now? Stop, T.O. Not Terrell Owens, time out. Just ask him that simple question. When you're talking to Daria Lisa Chevalier, who wants to destroy Western civilization, who now is going to be a congresswoman from New York, a communist and sympathizer to terrorist ideology, and she runs on the rent costs being too high in New York. Who's in charge? Who's in charge? What party? Oh, Mamdami's a Democrat. Oh, he's only been in charge for a couple months. Who was the last guy? Adams. He was a Democrat. And the guy before that, de Blasio, was a Democrat. Why don't we ask that question? Again, I'm not being a jerk. shows are live, they're on here. Just ask a simple question. Who's in charge now? You're running under the same banner. You're saying the club has failed. I want to join the club. What are you talking about? Systemic discrimination. You run the system. Folks, these people are cheering for the Iranians too. The death to America mullahs. Trump wipes them out, destroys their military, and all they want to do is go, well, he was no different than Obama. He was different than Obama. The people Obama was negotiating with, as I said yesterday, are dead because Trump's military killed them. Trump and our military, he's the commander-in-chief, killed them. They were using their military for leverage. It's now been destroyed. That's the difference. That's the difference. You want to cheer for the Iranians? Believe me, they want the Iranians to win. President Trump put out on his Truth Social yesterday a video. In case you're forgetting the body count. Oh, people could die in this if we keep the war. People have already died. The Iranians have been attacking us for close to 50 years. Liberal lunatics. And these, I'm talking about fake isolation because they're not really isolationists. They want to take care of the entire world and spread our money everywhere else. And the minute we go to eliminate people that want to kill us first, all of a sudden they get all pissed off. I ran for office against a lot of what I felt to be unnecessary foreign interventions. You didn't. You never ran at all. You're totally full of shit. You're cheering for these Iranian mullahs. Here's the Trump team putting out a reminder of the body count the Iranian regime had against Americans. You just want to sit back and let them continue to do this? Check this out.
Since 1979, the clock's been ticking. Iran has killed Americans every year for 47 years.
160 dead. Hostage has been killed.
180 attacks from Iran on Americans.
Past presidents appeased Iran.
$1.7 billion in cash to Iran.
Refused to enforce sanctions.
While Iran pursued nuclear weapons.
Could make 11 nuclear bombs.
Missiles that could soon reach the American homeland.
Imminent production of a nuclear weapon.
Too close for comfort.
When will Iran have a nuclear weapon? Never. Thank you, President Trump.
Again, I just want to know what I'm debating. I just want to know what I'm debating. If your take is like, number one, foamy finger, we love Iran, they're great, I hope they kick President Trump's ass. Like, I just want to know what I'm debating. Because when he negotiates for a negotiated peace, you bitch and moan that he's negotiating. Trump chickens out. And then when he goes and wipes out their military and kills the top 2 or 3 layers of leadership, you're bitching and moaning that it's an illegal, unauthorized, ultra-violent, warmonger war. I mean, what point are you trying to make? What point are you trying to make? Just stick to one. And if you're going to make a point, what's your solution? What's your solution? Just leave it alone until they smuggle nuclear material into the United States and let a dirty bomb go in New York with a bunch of drone dispersal devices? Is that your solution? And then what are you going to do? I can't believe the intelligence community missed this. We didn't miss it. That's the point. Nothing was missed. You see why folks, they hate this country and you're next. Even simple things like Elon cleaning up USAID. Catherine Herridge had just a stunning tweet that blew up the internet yesterday about a potential tie between U.S. taxpayer money, USAID, and the funding of Anwar al-Awlaki, one of the most disgusting, filthy terrorists in the history of humankind. She writes, looks like USAID supported college tuition for Awlaki, who later became a high-level Al-Qaeda terrorist. And they're bitching about Elon Musk and the Trump administration cleaning up international funding and USAID. What else do you need to see? That whatever side is the right one, you can always pick the Democrats to be on the wrong side of that. The Iranians want to kill us? Number one, foamy finger, go Iran. We love the IRGC. USAID possibly funding one of the world's worst terrorists, disposed of. Great, we love it. You think you're safe? Again, you think you're safe because you filmed your hostage video? You're not safe. You're not safe. They are coming for you next. And by the way, I've told you, there are a lot of good people left in New York. I feel bad for you. I really do. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my past. I moved out of New York when I was in my early 20s. I took a job in a training center in Maryland with my federal agent position. I grew up in New York my whole life. I'll tell you where I lived. I lived in Glendale. I lived in Middle Village, Flushing. I lived on Long Island, in Wantagh, Smithtown, and Selden. I lived all over the place. Nassau, Suffolk, Queens. Nassau and Suffolk are Long Island, not officially New York City. We bounced around everywhere in New York. I spent the most amount of my time in Queens, not far from where Donald Trump grew up. I know him obviously back then. New York has changed. New York is a cauldron of deadly, destructive communist ideology, and you are freaking next, I'm telling you. The problem is a lot of people in New York, for some reason, think this is not for, and you know what, I'll just leave it alone. They'll go away. They're not going away. Batia Sorgan put this tweet out. It's not the working class plumbers and electricians up in New York. It's not the postman in New York that voted for this. That Chevalier communist lost the Bronx part of the district by 30 points. She also lost black and Hispanic areas. She lost lower income areas by 10 points. You know who she won with? Young voters and high income Karens, I'll throw that in there, who won majority college educated areas by 20 points, screaming, "You are next" at the black guy. That's who she won. It's the, quote, academics who are not academic at all. And the elite Karens screaming, "You're next." They're the ones that are going to come and get you next. Folks, and they don't even do any homework. If I hear one more time from one of these liberal morons, I'm going to throw up in my mouth. If I hear one more time, we're not talking about the socialism of Cuba and the Soviet Union. We're talking about the socialism in Denmark. Denmark is not socialist. They've actually remember that headline we used to put up? Who was it? Rasmussen? They're not socialist. Yes, they are big government welfare states. Socialism is when a cabal of government bureaucrats control the means of production, the means of producing stuff, factories, hospitals that produce healthcare. That's what socialism is. How do you not know this? You have like AI out there. You can go look it up yourself. That is what Chevalier, Mamdani, and AOC and Bernie Sanders want. They say they're about Scandinavian, quote, socialism, because it's not socialism, because they know suckers will fall for it and will do no homework at all. None. I just put that Wall Street Journal article up 3 weeks ago about how these Scandinavian countries, was that about Denmark or Sweden, moving away from big government welfare? Oh, here, Sweden. There, thank you. You guys are good. Tom Fairless, liberals, please look this up, you dumb shits. The world's most surprising capitalist makeover is underway in Sweden. Wait, Justin, that should say the world's most surprising socialist makeover. Bernie told us that. It's not. They're moving away from socialism or big government, what you think is socialism, big government welfare state politics. They're introducing free markets. Why? Because big government welfare states suck too. Socialism's a whole different level of suck because it leads to you getting dead quick. Here's that absolute dipshit from The View, Joy Behar, who clearly does not understand any of this. She doesn't understand the difference between government spending, laws people vote on, like Social Security. Listen, Social Security, cue that up next, the Social Security thing. I'll show you how Social Security has failed you. I know people hate this type of thing. That, however, is a law passed in a constitutional republic. The government doesn't own the means of production because of Social Security. People passed a law that you'll turn your money over to the government, which they claim to invest for you. They actually spend it, and they'll give it back to you later and issue debt. That's a law. People voted. You can vote at that. It's not socialism. It's welfare state politics. Building roads is not socialism. It's government spending, laws, regulations people vote on. It's not the government takeover of the asphalt industry. Here's Joy Behar, who again is too stupid to go to Grok and ask a basic question about what socialism is. Check this out.
Obviously, New Yorkers are not watching Fox constantly, and so they're not afraid of the term democratic socialism. If I fall down, I want an ambulance. If my house is on fire, bring your hose. You know what I mean? Yeah. We are looking. I'm not scared of the term. I think they're scared of the term in this country. But Social Security is a democratic socialism. Partly unemployment insurance is. The people who pick up your garbage, the people who take the fire out at your house, all of these things are democratic socialism. And there's a major reaction formation going on right now. If you see, we'll see soon, we're talking about it later, about Republican senators are turning, congressmen are turning on Trump. And people have had it with this right-wing, nasty politics that we've had to subject ourselves since this guy got into office.
Folks, please, I'm asking you as a friend, please go to an unbiased source and look up what socialism is, because Joy freaking Behar is too stupid to do it. I'm going to make this really simple. When your friends throw back in your face, picking up the garbage is socialism. You go, really? The government controls the garbage industry? Because socialism is the government control of the means of production. Period. Look it up. Do your homework, liberal dipshits. Do your homework. The government building a road does not mean it owns the asphalt industry. In communist socialist countries, they do own the asphalt. The asphalt business turns their profits over to the government. And that's why it fails. Because nobody wants to work for someone else. They want to work for their own family. I can't take the freaking stupid. Social Security is socialism. Social Security is bankrupt. Their own actuaries have told you in 2034 that they're out of IOUs. It's bankrupt now. I'm sorry to tell you this. The government flipped you the double-barrel middle finger. Remember when Bush, back in 2005, said, hey, I want to let seniors decide for themselves where to put about $1,000 of their Social Security money. They'll be able to invest it in markets and things like that. And there was an uproar. They're going to privatize Social Security. Privatize means they're going to give you your money. That's what that meant. And people say, I don't want control of my money. I want to give it to the government. Oh, read this story to see how bad you got effed. Effed. A counterfactual Social Security history, Wall Street Journal. If you were 22 years old in 2011, you'll miss out on more than $800,000 you could accumulated under the Bush plan by the time you retire. Assuming a retirement age of 65, a starting contribution of $83 per month, actual market return since 2011, and the S&P's historical 10% average annual return, workers would be benefiting from personal accounts where you would control about $800,000. Instead, the government is issuing IOUs for the Social Security money you gave them that they already spent, taking on trillions of dollars in new debt to claim they're going to pay you later on when, in fact, they're only going to screw you over. That's just the numbers, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to tell you. I've been warning for years. Social Security is socialism. No, it's not socialism. It is a law people voted on and voted representatives in a constitutional republic, in a representative democracy, and representatives chose this system that has failed you. It's not socialism. Government doesn't control the retirement markets. Jasmine can go out tomorrow and get an IRA, get an annuity. The government doesn't control it. Control is socialism, not government spending levels. That's what they want. That's why they want to destroy Western civilization. Folks, I'm not going to let them rewrite history either. I'm going to take a quick break. But coming up next, you got this Hassan Piker lunatic out there again trying to rewrite history. He's out there advocating along this guy. Don't ignore this guy. Oh, why do you keep addressing this guy? Folks, he's extremely popular. I am in the business here with my investments in tech of the free speech business. I support his right to free speech. I want to get that on the record. Clearly. 100%. But I can critique his free speech just like he can critique mine. Piker was out there, again, advocating for all of these socialist candidates who want to destroy Western civilization. And now that they won, they're trying to get back the plumbers and the electricians by claiming, oh, we're not that radical. We're just about building roads. Yeah, building roads to concentration camps. Those are the only roads you want to build. All right, quick break. Receipts incoming. Again, respect his right to free speech. You respect my right to critique it. You come back and fire your own bombs if you want. That's okay. But don't run away from what you said. I need a lot of sleep at night from all these shows. Hey, lately I've been looking for ways to stay cool at night and actually get some solid sleep. You know where I'm going with this? Our good friends at Helix Mattress. If you're not sleeping on one, you're making a huge mistake. Unbelievably comfortable. HELIX, the greatest life hack of all, is good sleep. Good sleep. I have the Midnight Lux. I love it. Had one in DC as well. The only downside to the Helix sleep mattress is you go to hotel rooms, and even with those other overpriced mattresses, you're like, I got to get back to my Helix mattress. I used to wake up sore, too hot. My knees hurt. My back hurt. Shoulders were bothering me. Got with Midnight Lux. I've been addicted ever since. Absolutely love it. I took their sleep quiz at Helix. Got matched with the Midnight Lux. It's tailored to how I sleep. It's a game changer. Check it out yourself. The cooling upgrade, huge, especially with the warmer nights. Folks, it's really hot in Florida. I don't think that's a news flash. Hello, Captain Obvious. However, if you don't have a Helix mattress with the cooling feature, you're going to sleep hot. And when your body's sleeping hot, it's not sleeping deep. I even noticed this in my sleep data. My sleep tracker shows deeper sleep, fewer wake-ups. I can actually feel the difference during the day. On top of that, you get a 120-night sleep trial and a limited lifetime warranty. So there's really no downside to giving it a try. It's just an easy upgrade, worthwhile, to a Helix mattress. So go to helixsleep.com/Dan for 20% off site-wide, 25% off Luxe mattresses, and 30% off Elite mattresses. That's a crazy good savings. That's helixsleep.com/Dan for 20% off site-wide, 25% off Luxe mattresses. That's what I have. And 30% off Elite mattresses. HELIX, helixsleep.com/Dan. Support Helix. They've been with us a long time. Love that company. Thanks, Helix. You guys are great over there. Folks, now they're trying to gaslight you. Now that they know people like me and you and others are out there sounding the alarm. You know, there's a great podcaster out there. Do you guys know this John Doyle guy? This guy does great work. This guy, I see some of his clips on it. He's another one sounding the alarm. I think great work. I love to hat tip other content creators out there. Folks, this is not the most important work in the world. I put that up there with our military and our entrepreneurs. However, I enjoy doing it, okay? I love it, and I think it is important. And you got some really good voices out there. Sean Farish and others, amazing voices out there. They are sounding the alarm too. Do not let these people gaslight you. Here's Hassan Piker here, again, trying to put a smooth edge over the death and destruction of Western civilization, which, believe me, is exactly what the people he supports are advocating for. Check this out.
I wish they stopped calling me a terrorist. That's what I wish. I wish they stopped calling me a radical. None of these people are radical. They just want healthcare. They want to end American militarism. They want to spend money on roads, on infrastructure, on schooling, on healthcare rather than bombs overseas, because it seems like for far too long, that's what our focus has been. And not the focus of the American people, but the focus of the American government has been in that direction. We have to put an end to our endless militarism, and we have to focus on ourselves, and we have to heal this nation and repair it.
They just did a piece. The Columbia University apartheid divestment crew, they just did a piece on destroying Western civilization and fomenting violence in America and unrest. It's in their own freaking words, bro. But now they just want to heal. They want to heal the country. They want to heal the country through violence and unrest and the eradication of Western civilization. Notice how they're going to try to rewrite history now. Justin's like, Dan, I can't let you do this. This is his. I did not have this in the show because I don't like wasting a lot of time. I like to get to the point. But Justin's right. He's like, Dan, a lot of people may not know who this guy is. He says, give me a few minutes. I want to put together a list of greatest hits. And by greatest hits, I mean worst hits. I'm talking about like the eradication of Western civilization, not healing America and that bullshit. They're not trying. That is total bullshit. So hat tip Justin. I have not seen this yet. Everyone hat tip Justin in the chat. Check this out.
Well, my understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
When you say Hamas is 1,000 times better, do you actually mean that?
I do mean it. I think it's a rhetorical move because it frustrates a lot of people. I've also said I'm a harm reduction voter, I'm a lesser evil voter, and therefore I would vote for Hamas over Israel every single time. The idea that October 7 was done specifically to kill as many Jewish people as possible, I think is incorrect. Yeah, no, I'm pro-piracy all the way, like across the board. Would you steal a car? Like, yeah, sure. If I could get away with it, if it was as easy as, pirating IP, I would do it.
America deserved 9/11, dude. I'm saying.
I wish they stopped calling me a terrorist. That's what I wish. I wish they stopped calling me a radical.
Al DeBeer in the chat. Thank you, Justin. Go, Justin. A lot of go Justins in the chat. Give the staff a little love. The rest of the team, too. They do a great job. The first time I seen it, that's a whole lot of healing. Jasmine, right? It's a whole lot of healing America right there. That's a whole lot of healing. Maybe he should get together with like Barney the dinosaur. Sharing is caring. Go around and get like a roast little s'mores and stuff around the campfire. That's a whole lot of love and healing right there. Guy has the right to free speech, folks. You know it's been my calling. Without free speech, we have nothing. We all have the free speech right too, to show you what his free speech looks like and condemn it. You're not worried yet? Folks, the facilitators out there are the worst part of this whole thing. The MSNOW people, the Seth Moultons, the soft wuss bag. I want to say something different. It starts with a different word, but sounds like it. Democrats who sat on their ass and did nothing while their party has been taken over by Nazis and terror sympathizers who want to, quote, eradicate Western civilization using unrest and political violence. Their words, bro. The facilitators are the worst part. Here's the junior senator from Delaware on CNBC. CNBC is Joe Kernan. He's pretty good. But CNBC, not some right-leaning network. Kernan's a pretty fair guy. Just ask a pretty simple question. Hey, you guys keep talking about socialism, the DSA, your party's been taken over by a bunch of lunatics who, by the way, I don't even know what socialism is, but they seem to love it. It's about healing and shit. Singing with Barney, Teletubbies and things like that. Dora the Explorer. We did it. We did. Oh, you did it. All right. Yeah, you did it. Lo hicimos en español. Here's the junior senator from Delaware. Asked a fair question by Joe Kernan. Can you just give us an example? An example of where socialism is. No, not Scandinavia. I just told you that's not freaking socialism. Stop being a dipshit, okay? Dipshittery is not accepted on the show. We don't like dipshittery. We have a zero tolerance for dipshittery on the show. Please tell us where socialism has worked. And just like Donnie Deutsch, who wants to leave the anti-Semitism conversation for another day, because guys, you know that's not an important one, right? I mean, who needs to talk about that? Like extermination of a race of people because of their religion. Josh, don't worry about it. Leave that for another day. Josh is like, we'll get to it when we get to it, which is never. The junior senator from Delaware has asked a pretty simple question. Can you give us a single example? I'll have to come back and do that interview another time. Yeah, sure. I'm sure you're getting ready to answer. Check this out.
Where has socialism ever worked, Senator?
Is that another question, or is that for the next interview?
That's definitely for you. You said fish doesn't work everywhere. I just want to know one place where socialism has been beneficial.
Well, when you have me come back on, we can talk about racism.
Get your answer ready.
So let's not. That was almost like a tissue episode because I can't take it with these guys. Your party's been hijacked by a bunch of anti-Semites who want to round up a bunch of people because of their religion and basically throw them in concentration camps. Like, you know what? We'll just save that debate for another day. Then you're like, socialism led to the famine in Ukraine, the extermination of hundreds of millions of people from Cambodia to the Soviet Union to Vietnam. Andy, they're like, we could save that for tomorrow. Be like, Let's talk about algae. Let's talk about algae in the pool.
Let's go, algae. Let's go.
Let's talk about algae at the reflecting pool in a city, D.C., ironically, full of a lot of socialists. Trump's helping you out. He's cleaning up your tourist attractions. They're the nations, but you get the point. You live there. I don't get to see it every day. And you're pissed off. You're on team algae. And then when the algae clears up, the only people who had the balls to go there were freaking TMZ. TMZ. They're like, hey, man, I noticed since the water got nice and clear and it looks really good. They're like, nobody seems to show up. Team algae's all of a sudden disappeared. They're probably engaged in biolab behavior right now, creating a super algae to dump in the pool next week. That's how freaking sick these crazy people are. Anti-Semitism, socialism. We'll talk about that tomorrow when the United States is burning to the ground. That's a great idea. Vote for us. We're all about the healing. Barney the Purple Dinosaur. We did it. Lois Simos.
Let's go, algae. Let's go.
Can we have someone make a number one foamy figure, Team Algae? We just say, show the TMZ thing. You think I'm messing with you? TMZ actually went down and like, look, the water looks great. Notice Team Algae. All of a sudden, they're all pissed off about it. They're like, oh my gosh, the reflecting pool looks nice and clean. We shouldn't talk about anti-Semitism and socialism. Let's talk about algae until the algae's gone. Check this out.
The pool is looking magnificent this morning. Like, if you're going to say it looks crap when it looks crap, then you got to say when it just looks like you want to swim in it. You know, it's a better reflection when there's no wind and it's all still. But for now, today, it's looking great. They mopped up all the algae a few days ago, and from what I can tell, it hasn't really come back. And it looks blue. So credit where credit's due. Like, that looks...
TMZ, the only one with balls. But you're right, folks. Even on the socialist Hassan Piker side, it's all about healing. Singing with Barney and Dora and everything, the Teletubbies all around a campfire. I get it. Let's not talk about exterminating people because of their religion and the whole thing like socialism, death, destruction. Let's not talk about any of that. Let's just punt that for another day. Like the junior senator from Delaware and Donnie Deutsch. The Nazi tattoo guy who seems to like public porta potties. Not even like the public restroom, like the porta potty. There's not air conditioning in those things. I hope it's over quick. I hope he's not like taking one of those drugs that like extends it. Like, because it get really hot in there. He's got, I've never, in the other room, are like, that's a bridge too far. Unanimously in the other room, they're all like, oh, that one stung. That one stung. It was like someone like stuck an ice pick shiv in a prison and all of them that was a bridge too far. No bridges too far in this show. By the way, speaking of bridges too far, a lot, we got some complaints yesterday. Fair enough about the, let's call it spicy language on yesterday's show. All right, I get it. But yesterday I was uniquely pissed off. By the way, I just want to throw this out there, Justin. Father Marty texted me and said he loved the show. He did not say he loved the cuss words. He did not say that. I will have to at some point go to confession. But he did text me and say he enjoyed the show. He did not say, so do not dissolve his priesthood, that he liked the cuss word. He did not. And then I heard from another friend of mine that there's a nun who's friends with a friend who wants to come in and say hello. A nun who loved the show too, not the cuss words. But it's not just me. My friend in the neighborhood, I don't want to say who, because I don't want people showing up targeting his dog. He's got this dog named Tony. This dog named Tony. And just showing you, like, this is not just a human thing. The dogs that roam around my neighborhood, sometimes they use foul language too. No, I'm not kidding. Do you guys see this? These things have gone nuclear, these videos on TikTok and Instagram. You don't know what you're missing if you haven't seen it. This is the neighborhood dog. Curses too? Yes, check this out.
What's your name? What? What is your name? Tony. Fuck you, Tony. What's your name? Ezekiel! Fuck you, Ezekiel! Fuck you! Fuck you!
If you're not on, Motley's in the chat. Folks, I am chronically online. Haley's got the show scrolling where she claims that more. I actually think I have more screen time. I'm going to have to look at my phone than Haley. I am chronically online for content. When you're on TikTok and Instagram like I am, like that listen, for this late in the show, that is a shit ton of Motley's. Those videos have gone nuclear. Everyone's taking pictures. That's what dogs do. All right, they don't occur. You get the point. But that's taken from, who is the guy? It's taken from a skit. Do you remember? You pulled up the original. It was like, it's taken from some like Don't Talk to Strangers video. I played that video in my house. Probably, I'm not kidding here, probably about 100 times. Max Forrest, the original video. Don't Talk to Strangers. Paula will walk out of the room, and I'm telling you, she'll throw her hands up, and she's like, I can't believe you're listening to this again. She's like, Dan, you're 51. Like, you got to stop. I can't. I think it's the funniest thing ever. Ezekiel. That's Lucy, by the way. And she thinks she's tough. And then you let a dog off a leash, she'll run the other way, jump right in your arms. You like that? All right. Butley's in jail. All right, I got to end on some serious stuff because I don't want to leave you just with the. I should have probably tomorrow. I'll leave you with some funny stuff for the weekend. But this is important. I've been telling you about the dangers of the Democrats' next big war coming up, and it's going to be a war on the Electoral College. I get it. That's why I saved it for the end of the show. I understand it's not the sexiest topic. However, you want to lose the Republic tomorrow. The quickest way to do it is to make presidential elections a popular vote election, where we're waiting for a month for California to find enough votes to win the presidential election. And believe me, they will. We do not have that system here, and you don't want it. It protects smaller states. It protects minority rights against the majority taking away their rights. The Electoral College guarantees every state 3 electors. You need, of course, 270 to win. It's not a complicated system. It has worked great for 200 years. America First Legal did an absolutely fantastic video. We cut it a little bit, but you can see it on their Twitter page. It's fantastic about why the Electoral College is so important. You're going to see these people, these leftist socialists, rail against it. It was an institution to protect slavery. Again, read Federalist 68 and nothing to do, which it actually protected against slavery ongoing. It was a way to destroy the institution of slavery by giving non-slave states power. But of course, they're not going to tell you that. But this is a really good video, about a minute or so, but worth your time. Mark it, flag it in the chat. This is the next big fight. Check this out.
For 250 years, America has decided presidential elections the exact same way. State by state, electoral vote by electoral vote. This is how it was designed in our Constitution, in case you missed it. And it was designed that way intentionally. But now Governor Abigail Spanberger of Virginia has signed a bill that would hand Virginia's 13 electoral votes to whoever wins the most votes nationwide, even if Virginians vote the other way.
The compact would award a state's electoral votes to the candidate who wins the national popular vote, no matter how that candidate performed in the state itself.
Think about that. An elected representative has decided to override the most fundamental principle of this nation, the will of the people. If her party can get more people to vote another way in other states, she's just going to ignore the voice of the people who elected her to represent their voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake. You throw out the Electoral College. Let me just speak for Florida because I live in Florida. So does the team here. Florida, say, votes 5 points in favor of Rubio or Vance in the next election, right? And then Florida would never do this. But Florida subscribes to this unconstitutional popular vote compact where whoever wins the national popular vote, Florida's votes go to them. They vote for Rubio and Vance, and your votes go to Mamdani. That's what they're talking about. You want to talk about tyranny. That's some hardcore BS right there. Man, you guys really like that dog video. We were just talking. Is that funny or what? I can't stop. I'll watch it another 100 times before the week is out. I love it. Folks, we got Haley coming up at noon. Rumble.com/Haley. Vince every day at 8 a.m. Rumble.com/Vince. Download the Rumble app. Please give us a follow on Apple and Spotify. if you would. Also, rumble.com/Bongino if you want to watch on the web. It is free. Download the app on your smart TV. And again, the contest starting July 6th, right, fellas? July 6th. It's a giveaway. We're just giving you all a little like prize for being here. You have to be in the live chat starting July 6th. You can check out the rules there, Bongino.com/1776. It's just for you. We really do love our audience. Like no one else. I shouldn't know a lot of guys love their audience, but I really, really value you guys a lot. So thanks again. Stay tuned for Haley coming up at noon. See you tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Hey there, I'm Vince.
I'm Haley Caradia,
Host of Vince.
host of Scrolling with Haley.
You can always catch my show right here
on the Bongino Report.
live, 8 a.m. Eastern, weekday mornings.
Weekdays at noon. If you miss it, no worries. The show will always be
Right here
and anywhere you find a podcast. Thanks for watching.